Thanks, bro. We can do a quick audio test in like 5 minutes, and then get to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lakeside Stadium for today's final round of the 2024 season between South Melbourne and the St Albans Dynamo. The lineup for the visitors is in alphabetical order. Number 6, Lee Broxer. Number 21, Michael Bullage. Number 29, Lucas Burns. Number 17, Luca Cabrera. Number 9, Josh Fowler. Number 16, Michael Gigic. Number 22, Max King. Number 24, Johnny Maglaris. Number 5, Michael Martinovich. Number 11, Joe Monac. And number 8, Brian Sunsteel. And the lineup for South Melbourne is as follows. Number 7 and the captain for today, Andy Brennan. Number 10, Jack Pope. Number 11, Rob Hardy. Number 16, Emil Pios. Number 18, Josh Franku. 19, Cooper Harpenny. 20, Rhythm Lejeune. 21, Ross the Boss Archibald. 34, Mac Hilton. 37, Christian Glazer. And number 80, everyone's favourite, George Ticinaro.
Great. Just a quick audio test, just to check like the level. Oh, it should just be on. Yeah. Come
2024 with South Melbourne taking on the St Albans Saints. We have a minute of silence to kick proceedings off. last week, South Melbourne secured the Premier's plate for season 2024. And for St Albans, since Cam Watson took over, smooth sailing, but in the mid-season window, a massive 6-7 signings came in and proved to be the difference makers, with St Albans securing survival last week with a resounding 5-0 win over Green Gully. Plenty of exciting names in this St Albans side, including, of course, Lee Roxham, have steered their way into a very advantageous position. For South Melbourne, well, a cup game on the horizon next week on Sunday, 5:30 p.m. against Olympic FC, a Greek derby that will prove to be. And as a result, Esteban Quintas has said to his side, you can have a bit of a rest, and the kids have been brought in well and truly this afternoon, and a couple of debutants will be in the offing as well. We'll start off with the away side. St Albans, number 6, Lee Broxham, number 21, Marko Bulic, number 29, Lucas Burns, number 17, Luca Cabrera, number 9, Josh Fowler, number 16, Michael Gilgic, number 22, Max King, number 24, Johnny Maglaras, number 5, Michael Martinovic, number 11, Joey Monek, number 8, Brian Summerskill. As for South Melbourne, we do see a senior league debut for Josh Franku, the former Melbourne Victory fullback, and George Tsitsinalis gets his first South appearance since July. As we see Ross Archibald, Andy Brennan, Josh Franku, Robert Harding, Cooper Harpenny, Mac Hilson, Christian Inglese, Willem Lejeune, Jack Pope, Emil Payos, and George Tsitsinalis take the field. And Christian Inglese, Lucas Inglese's brother, of course, more of a striker in terms of his intentions, but can be played as a central defender as well at times. Also gets his first league appearance since April of this season. If we were to look on the balance of play, I'd say that St Albans definitely have the stronger side in terms of experience. Only one player over the age of 30 years old for South Melbourne. That is Andy Brennan, who's taken the captain's armband for today. And here is Andy Brennan. He's got options to his left and to his right. Opts to go left. So the early foray forward to the back post. It arrives, and it couldn't fall for Andy Brennan. It doesn't. And it was Mac Hilson involved early on in the action on that occasion. He looks to whip towards the back post, and Marko Bulic standing strong. Of course, he's got familial heritage involved with the football club. I mean, well-travelled is Marko Bulic, and he would be very familiar with some of the players on the pitch for South Melbourne. Josh Franku as well, who's a former Melbourne Victory fullback. Played several times for their youth team. Last time these two sides met, it was in the Doherty Cup, the final round before the playoffs, of course, and it was Noel Bernarda who an outrageous chip from just about outside of the box to secure the 1-0 victory. St Albans have been cruising, been in cruise control ever since the mid-season window, just about. Yellow strip. And here is that man, Lee Broxham, towards the far side. Dinamo happy to knock it around at Swordall. It's a number been taken up by Marko Martinovic. A couple of number changes for St Albans today, which is not the easiest thing for us commentators to contend with. But here is Martinovic once more. Slides it into the mixer, and shot on goal eventually did arrive on that far side, but it wasn't quite to be for Lucas Burns. A miscue from Gurgic, but he is able to clean up the scraps. Here is Emil Payos. Hilson is offside here, according to the assistant on the far side. Of course, massive 7 matches commencing at 3 p.m. on this Sunday afternoon. Of course, the fates of both of these sides have been well confirmed as a result of last week's outcomes. It's a very poor giveaway by Dinamo as South look to pick up possession just inside their attacking half. But finals permutations for seeding from 2nd to 5th, of course, with Heidelberg, Hume, Oakley and Avondale needing to win their respective games to have any semblance of getting either a home final or a week off. Of course, South will still continue to play matches with that week off against Olympic, as previously mentioned. We will bring you all the score updates. Here's Brian Summerskill, now Michael Gurgic. Burns, I mean, what an outstanding statement signing he was for St Albans. Was linked to a number of clubs in the mid-season window, but following his departure from Port Melbourne, decided to link up with Cam Watson. It's Broxham striding forward, looking to pop one from range, and well, certainly not the one for his goal-scoring acumen, Lee Broxham, but why not have a pop from range? Of course, announced his retirement from professional football earlier this year. The Melbourne Victory legend, one club man in the A-League and won numerous titles with the football club, including the famous 2015 A-League Premiership against Sydney FC and Championship, should we say, in which he did score the third and final goal in front of a raucous Amy Park. Not quite the same atmosphere or same environment or circumstances, but he has certainly breathed life into this football club and has his own academy, the Lee Broxham Academy as well. South really resting their big guns today. And it's not just felt in the starting lineup, it's also felt on the bench, as of course we do see no Harrison Sawyer at all. We don't see Noel Bernarda, doesn't feature in the matchday squad. Barcia, one of the only few players on the bench that has senior experience, of course, besides Lucas Inglese and Max Mikula, who will return from suspension, and Javi Lopez. We do have 2 youngsters who might receive their senior debuts today. Lucas Maragdiu and Marco Aravanis. We do have the first goal of the afternoon. Manningham United taking the lead over the Altona Magic. Of course, their fate is sealed pending any national second-tier developments. And St Albans with the bulk of possession, and that's what we have come to expect in recent weeks. Holding firm and retaining that structural integrity at the base of midfield. Gaining some territory. Dinamo as a ball is whipped in from Lucas Burns. Ross Archibald cleaning up. Easily the most experienced of the back 3 today. A beautiful piece of skill close to the byline. It's with Summerskill. It's across now to Michael Martinovic. Looking to let one fly, and Willem Lejeune has certainly got a very difficult task on his hands. Has only started a few games this season, one of them against Manningham United. That was quite the occasion, with Manningham scoring the first 2 goals. An absolute rout last week, St Albans Dinamo. Were comprehensive in every way possible at Churchill Reserve, and You sense the atmosphere has definitely changed in every way possible. Josh Fowler with a double, Lucas Burns with a hat-trick, of course. Players waved on. Franku back to Archibald. A press has been enforced as South look down the line. And a push in the back. Yes. South with work to do from a defensive perspective. Ball finds its way towards Fowler, who's judged to be offside. Our man in the middle, of course, Vlatko Trajčeski. Here's Ross Archibald. Cooper Halfpenny. It's Brennan. Into feet Hilson. Good first touch. Looking to unleash George Tsitsinadis on that far side. And he does eventually get a touch to it. I mean, what a story for him, George Tsitsinadis. He's the true embodiment of a South Melbourne boy, born and bred. It came through the entire youth system at the football club and has received a lot more senior opportunities this season as Pope looks towards that left edge of the penalty area. And the ball is played infield, but Trajčeski says that was out of play. King. Here's Bulic. Dinamo certainly showing their tactical acumen and looking to pierce the gaps of this South defence, really targeting that left-hand channel. As a poor giveaway from Willem Lejeune will see St Albans looking to strike. I mean, they haven't won against South Melbourne in their last 9 meetings. They haven't actually beaten South Melbourne in the current format of the NPL Victoria since they got promoted all those years ago, about half a decade. Avondale have taken the lead against Port Melbourne, so they sure up second spot for the time being. Ball is whipped into the middle and Archibald, the wrecking ball, forces a corner. There's a bit of a commotion as to what will occur upon this set piece, but it will be Brian Summerskill to deliver to the near post. It's kept in play briefly, and another corner will be ensuing. It's hard towards the back post, and it's Gurgic this time. Andy Brennan with much work to do. And keeps it in play diligently. A tug of the shirt from Gurgic. It might have been the shoulder, in fact, but a war of words administered. Here's Josh Franku. Peos seeking to play it down the line. Here is Joey Monek. Scored that spectacular outside of the box goal a few weeks back. Burns looking towards Martinovic, towards the back post was the intention. And he's gone all the way into the advertising hoardings. I think he's going to be okay, but that might have caused a bit of damage. Yeah, it looks like he's maybe caused a bit of structural damage to that, indeed. Lejeune getting it forward. It's Pios. Monak finds Gilgic. Here's Summerskill, of course, formerly of South's Hellenic rivals Heidelberg United, and has that real good midfield acumen and fantastic darting run forward, and good technical ability shown by Lucas Burns. It's King, finds Fowler, who's offside. And he's been a revelation as well for St Albans Dynamo. I mean, quite an under-the-radar signing mid-season, but has shown time and time again why he was highly rated by clubs such as Motherwell and Kilmarnock and the Scottish top tier thereabouts. Prolific goal scorer, 32 goals in one season for Josh Fowler. Fowler, of course, born in England, and made the switch across to Gulf United and the United Arab Emirates before linking up here at Churchill Reserve. Not exactly here at Churchill Reserve. I mean, if you go up the highway, then you'll be all the way there. Here's George Sitinalis. We do have some more score updates. Melbourne Knights lead against Green Gully, and Manningham United have conceded against the Altona Magic. Sitinalis, first time ball for Mac Hilson. Great off the ball work from Sitinalis, and striding forward is Pios. Hilson spots the option of Inglese on the overlap. Inglese with a searching ball in towards the back posts. St Albans holding firm. Pios slips and wins back possession. Here's Monak turning the corner. Max King. Of course, the Japanese-Australian, formerly of Tiyama Hirakata in the Japanese 4th Division. Played his football in NPL Queensland prior to arriving in Victoria. He, of course, one of the few players that have actually retained their starting spots since the departure of the former manager. As St Albans earn themselves a free kick, you'd say, in a pretty intriguing position nonetheless, about 30 yards out, right next to the byline. And has provided opportunistic angle, that is to be certain. Burns to deliver. To the back post, it goes! It's Gilgic who couldn't get his head quite onto it. Andy Brennan. Ball quickly won back by St Albans, and Burns is brought to ground. Brennan will look for his trademark gazelle-like drive down those flanks. And Brennan will hook it towards Robert Harding. And Bullich says, I'm going to clear that out of the literal stadium. It wasn't quite successful, but just hits, I think, the guardrail. Of course, this is South Melbourne's first home game since that famous night about, well, nearly 2 weeks ago on last Tuesday. 12 days ago it was. South of the long throw-in. No Jack Painter-Andrews in the lineup today. Calls for a handball. Waved away, however. South managed to keep it in. And Archibald, a bit of head tennis, and Fowler gets in front of it first. No Jordan Lampard either, of course. The experienced head's not available, but it's a nice blend, of course. It also gives opportunities to Jack Pope and Robert Harding, who, of course, haven't been eligible to be playing in the Doherty Cup or in the Australia Cup final rounds for South Melbourne due to them being cup-tied. So the league is really where they'll get all their match minutes, and they've stepped in at crucial times over the course of the season. And Jack Pope obviously started last week against Avondale, and Noel Bernardo securing the would-be goal that secured them the Premier's plate, and it will be presented after the game as well. Gilgich, King. Across to Broxham. Searching ball forward. A good touch from Lucas Burns. And corner is the decision. Altona have scored a second, only a minute after scoring their first. It's Broxham! Not quite there for the veteran midfielder slash defender. Lucas Cabrera also creating space. Martinovic, of course. Well, he's believed to be on loan from Dandenong City. That is what we've been told. Lucas Cabrera breaking the space, a lateral ball. Maglaris. And Tsitsinaris has been given a yellow card. I'm not exactly sure what for, but he will go into the book for the first yellow card of the afternoon. And this presents another opportunity, a crucial one at that, for St Albans to secure their first goal of the afternoon and continue their goal-scoring streak. 5 wins on the bounce. Not many teams that can do that in this competition, especially for a relegation-threatened side. It's Burns. Into the mixer once more. It's King. Lost his footing. St Albans seeking to just open up the angles for the cross. It eventually is sent in to the area. There's Ross Archibald batting it away. Just a battering ram as the former Melbourne City defender. Spent time, of course, overseas as well. In Germany. And the Queenslander has featured for a number of NPL Victoria clubs across the year, should we say. Avondale, Bentley Greens comes to mind, and Port Melbourne Sharks, where he most recently plied his trade. Was involved with that Melbourne City side, whilst David Villa was there for the few games that he played in the A-League. Burns, Summerskill. Nice little 1-2, but it finds his way towards Monek, who has space to shoot, and a deflection. Nearly beats Willem Lejeune at his far post, but Dynamo earned themselves a corner. And a potential massive scalp is in the offing. They've been well and truly on top by every possible stretch of the imagination. Delivered to the back post. A touch from Broxham, and Brennan clears it right into the technical area of Cam Watson. I mean, what a run St Albans have had. 3 consecutive clean sheets, wins against the Oakley Cannons, Dandenong Thunder, Altona Magic, Heidelberg United. And as soon as they started bringing in players, their fortunes have immediately turned around. Talk about statement signings. This is exactly what the mid-season transfer window is for. It's Monek riding the challenge. Summerskill. It's Burns taking up the shirt number of 1 James Ricker-Bean. Incisive ball for Monek. Back towards Martinovic. Here's Summerskill. Options available for him to shoot, but South with all men behind the ball just about, except for Andy Brennan. And it's Summerskill. Oh! How about that? Brian Summerskill from well out of range. And their winning form potentially might continue with an absolute peach from Brian Summerskill. And what a way to do it as well. And he's had a very successful goal-scoring season as well. That's his 6th of the campaign. It was dipping, and Willem Lejeune not able to beat it away.
The goal scorer for St Albans was Brian Summerskill.
Just as he did for Heidelberg, more damage against his former side's most arch rivals. Work to do for South Melbourne. Plenty of work to do. And you might suspect they will bring on all their experienced heads at the halftime interval, or maybe some of them, maybe none of them. South really need to pick up the pace as Archibald gives it away once more. Halfpenny. Broxham rises high. Dynamo playing with a spring in their step. Michael Martinovic. Long-time custodian Michael Gergic has really been through the ups and downs at this football club. I mean, rooted down near the bottom of the table for all of 20 rounds just about, and they've really come out of nowhere to secure 15 points from their last 5 games. Easily the most informed team we've seen this season in the latter stages of the campaign. And with a form like that, I mean, next season, the finals could be the intention. You never know. Martinovic seeking the advent of Fowler. King. Summer skill. It's Burns. An exquisite 1-2. It's Burns onto his right. And he can't deliver the all-important goal, but that was beautiful interplay between Lucas Burns and Lucas Cabrera. And St Albans youngster, since just a little boy, played up all the way since under-13s, and a prolific goal scorer from an advanced midfield position in the under-23s competition. 5 goals this season from 17 matches, and a great ball towards George Tsitsinalis, and the cross unable to be fashioned. Dandenong Thunder have equalised against Moreland City. Melbourne Knights have scored another against Green Gully! And there it is for Robert Harding! Well, he's getting quite the habit of scoring at Lakeside Stadium. 3 weeks back, he scored against Port Melbourne, and isn't that the way to reply? Following an attacking onslaught by St Albans. And on the balance of play, you'd have to say that South are punching well above their weight. From Manningham to Lakeside, relegation threatened, relegation secured, to title champions for the regular season. Robert Harding. Goal scoring in abundance, and it's Burns looking to reply immediately, and South get it clear. And picked up by Mac Hilson. We believe the goal is for Robert Harding. I mean, it certainly looked like it hit the head of the Western Australian, but we will await confirmation in due time. Summer skill.
Goal scorer for South Melbourne, number 11, Rob Harding. Scorer is South number 1, the number 1.
There you go, confirmed by trusted ground announcer George Coo. Robert Harding with the goal. Lucas Burns easily has been St Albans' best player. I mean, his technical acumen is nothing short of special at this level, as Fowler finds space and wins the corner. Ball to the far post, and Lejeune was beaten. St Albans with yet another corner. Corner now to the back post. It goes. Another corner. My oh my. You can hardly believe it. The amount of set pieces we've seen early on for St Albans Dynamo. Go to the near post this time. Backwards header from Tsitsinaris. Summer skill. High looping ball caught by Willem Lejeune with ease, and look to play it quickly. Rising over the top was Michael Martinovic. Franco. Played his youth football at Glenira as well, did Josh Franco. In his early 20s. Emil Pios shifts away kindly, and South get the free kick. We're certainly sure it'll be a raucous atmosphere this time next week when they face off against Olympic in Queensland. It's going to be a tantalising show of South's resilience from a mental perspective, considering the amount of fixture congestion they've had in recent weeks, as Brennan looks to the back post, and it's sent inside once more. Cabrera manages to keep it in just for a second, and the former Eastern line, Jack Pope should I say, will retain possession for the home side. Hilson. Pios. Exquisite ball down to that far side. It's Harding, who in space finds Inglese, who's seemingly switched channels to that right channel this time. Throw in taken short. It's Brennan. And kept in once more. The shot does arrive, but a tame effort at that. And might spur on a counter-attack for Dynamo, as Lucas Burns has moved across to this right side. Isolated with Jack Pope. Martinovic. Burns. Fowler. Picking up deep. Driving forward. Fowler still going. Take solace on that left channel now for Monek, who wins another corner. Sabitnyor scoring for Heidelberg United to make it 1-0 there. Dandenong Thunder are now 3-1 up.
Dandenong Thunder 3, Melbourne City 1. Green Gully 0, Melbourne 2. Heidelberg 1, Dandenong City 0. Oakley 0, Hume City 0. Port Melbourne 0, Avondale 1. And South Melbourne 1, St Albans 1.
Ball sent into the middle, and it's Halfpenny who bats it away. Score updates provided by George Koo on the ground announcing. It's Fowler. Twisting, turning, Josh Fowler. Quick feet. Most definitely. Couldn't find the opener, however. They'll just really separate these two sides ever so more closely. It's Brennan. I think it's going to be kept in play by Harding. Brilliant work. Receives a round of applause from the South fans in attendance. Lejeune. Tsitsinaris. Brennan. Emil Peos. Archibald. South of the rare spell of possession. Hooked all the way towards Christian Inglese. Peos. Space for Sitsinaris briefly, but eventually cut out by Lucas Burns. And we do have a goal scorer at the Oakley versus Hume City game, which has much implications for the final seedings, and we'll get to that very soon as Sitsinaris will keep it in play. George Sitsinaris to Hilson! Much too much mustard on that attempted touch from Mac Hilson. He had to bury that. Or at least get a shot off. Joe Guest has scored for the Oakley Cannons. We believe it's Joe Guest at the very least. Against Hume City at home, meaning that as things currently stand, Oakley are in third place, Heidelberg in fourth, Hume in fifth, and Dandenong City in sixth. Meaning that the first round matches of the NPL Victoria finals will be Oakley up against Dandenong City and Heidelberg up against Hume. And I'm sure South Melbourne will keep an eye on the lowest seeded team that gets through. That's to be sure. As we approach the final 5 minutes of this first half, St Albans have been well and truly on top, and that's to be expected when South are fielding a very youthful side. Many of these players have played within the under-23s team that is currently second in the under-23s league, of course won by Green Gully, and a huge credit to Andres Maximov and the job he's done there, the young coach. Here is Monek. Looking to size up a shot briefly. To the D. Now Fowler. Pushing it out towards Martinovic. Short is Monek. Couple of step overs and Emil Peos bats it clear. Guglic. Here's Lee Broxham. Finds Monek. Back to Broxham. Monek once more. Over to that far side. Burns. Sent into the mixer once more. Peos heads away. Sitsinaris following suit. Bredden chests it down. Peos with a miscue and eventually does find Emil Peos once more. And the former Melbourne City midfielder has space to work with Hilson on that left-hand channel. Summer skill. Peos is absolutely everywhere at the moment. The Australian Youth International. Avondale have a second against Port Melbourne as well. Well, here is Lucas Burns, who's offside. And Willem Lejeune will take the resulting free kick. So with Avondale just about wrapping up second, all attention goes to who gets the home finals in the 3rd to 5th place clashes, unless Avondale really blow a lead. I mean, that's the question. Monek away, Franco. Strong header forwards, King with the heavy touch. Pios looking to go to work, but space opening up for Dinamo. It's Monek. Quick feet, looking towards the byline, and it's over the head of just about every single player. And in fact, Lucas Burns has said, I'll jump over the advertising hoardings and jump over them again and retrieve to take the corner. In fact, sorry, it will be a goal kick, should I say. And Oakley with a second as well against Hume City. So Hume City's long unbeaten streak is likely to come to an end as things currently stand. Lejeune. Excellent lateral pass, and Pios will open the space. The flick on from Hilson. It's Brennan. Finds his way all the way into the area. It's Pios once more. Pushes, challenges away. Hilson. And Hilson eventually wins out. Toe-to-toe with Michael Martinovic. That's exquisite work from the fullback. Fowler back to goal. Trycheski blows his whistle. St Albans playing with much urgency. They want to take it as quickly as they possibly can, but Jack Pope had something to say about that one and opens up the angle. Here is Jack Pope bearing down on goal. The outside of the foot pass nearly finds his fellow new signing in Robert Harding. Fantastic work from the former Melbourne Victory youngster in Jack Pope. Yeah, and he's let out a very loud scream as well in classic Jack Pope fashion. I mean, for a side that was very low in VPL 1 this season, the Eastern Lions, they did certainly find a diamond in the rough. As we do have half-time here at Lakeside Stadium, South Melbourne, after not having the buck of possession. St Albans have been all over them. Have really dominated that left and right channel and have been quite the force in many ways. With an outstanding goal from Brian Summerskill is what leaves us in this current position at half-time, and we'll bring you the score updates around the grounds as well. Half-time at several other grounds. Altona Magic 3-2 up against Manningham United. 5 goals in that first half. Dandenong Thunder up 3-1 against Moreland City. Avondale up 2-0 against Port Melbourne. Oakley Cannons up 2-0 against Hume City. Green Gully down at 2-0 to Melbourne Knights. And Heidelberg United with a 1-0 lead over Dandenong City. We will be back for the second half in about 15 minutes.
Now the half-time score updates on around the ground in this last round of the NPL are as follows. Altona Magic leading Manningham 3-2, Dandenong Thunder 3, Moreland City 1, Green Gully 0, Melbourne Knights 2, Heidelberg 1, Dandy City 0, Oakley 2, Hume 0, Port Melbourne 0, Avondale 2, and right here at South Melbourne 1, Dinamo 1.
Welcome back to Lakeside Stadium for this second half between St Albans and South Melbourne. We do have a triple change for the home side at half-time. Yes, triple change. Lucas Inglese, the brother of Christian Inglese, has come on, as well as Max Mikola and Mario Barcia. Mikola got sent off against the Oakley Cannons in the Doherty Cup final 2 weeks ago and does return today alongside a plethora of other starting South Melbourne players who have featured in recent weeks. As you see Pope. The players that have come off, we will look to make out in just a few moments. One of those players is George Tsitsinaris. And we will attempt to bring you the other players in due course. Here is Barcia. Inglese of the Lucas variation with the ball in. And Christian, of course, as we mentioned, hasn't featured since April. They both did take the field in a few games this season. I mean, it is special to see brothers in arms. Of course, their father, Adam Inglese, currently is the Oakley Cannons under-23s head coach. So let's just say football runs in the family. Andy Brennan also came off at half-time, as did Ross Archibald. Good win by Jack Pope, as Pios is adjudged to be pushed in the back and is awarded the foul. Here is Christian Inglese. Lee Broxham. I mean, with the Melbourne Victory securing promotion to NPL Victoria, we could see the possibility of Lee Broxham playing against his former side, and of course they're their youth side, but it is a Melbourne Victory opposition nonetheless.
Coming on, number 22, Max Mikola, number 8, Mario Barcia, number 6, Lucas Inglese, replacing number 21, Ross Archibald, number 80, George Tsitsinaris, and
Maglaris King.
Number 7, Andy Brennan.
Lucas Burns. It's Broxham shifting it towards Max King. Now Maglaris. Nice little piece of interplay from St Albans. Just looking to weave around the penalty areas. Fowler whips it across towards a back post in the attempted acrobatics from Monac, and Hilson will win back possession for South Melbourne, but good hustle from Monac. Here is Gilgich. Lucas Cabrera. The diagonal is near perfect. Burns. Inglese to part with. And the older Inglese brother does succeed. High looping ball for Mikola. Martinovic. Francu. Hilson and Francu doing part. And a bit of hoo-ha here as to what's happened, but Pios just exquisitely wins back the ball, but lays her right into the feet of a St Albans player. Into feet was Mikola, who I think is being deployed as a false 9. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like South aren't really playing with an out-and-out number 9 at the moment, which is to be expected when you don't have Noel Bernardo or Andy Brennan or Harrison Sawyer on the pitch. There's a beautiful weighted ball. Finds its way towards Cabrera. Across towards Monek. Still retrieves across the face, and South do concede the corner. And so too, St Albans will take the set piece now from the far side. Delivered towards the mixer. Martinovic. Burns keeps it in play. And the Cannons have a third against Hume City, so there you have it. You can just about wrap it up for Hume City. It doesn't look like they'll come back from a 3-0 deficit, 3-goal deficit, should we say. Here is Brian Summerskill. Lee Broxham. Broxham keeps it in. Fowler looking to drive. Spots out an option on that far side. Overlapping option towards the byline. Might it yet fall for Vaglaris? No. And Lejeune will eventually claim. Maglaris was so near. Couldn't quite find the purchase required. Of course, the youngster, 23s player, formerly of Box Hill United's youth system, and has had 4 squad appearances in the NPL Victoria for St Albans this campaign. As Burns is cut down, and a yellow card looks like for, I think it might be Mario Barcia. Here's Max King. Payos. Barcia. South looking to drive forward. It's Christian Inglese looking down the line. It's Harding who wins the corner. In fact, it will be a throw-in. So South with momentum going forward. Some more experienced heads on the park now. And, of course, they're the trusty throw-in taker, Max Mikola. Who will try his luck. He's going to push away, I think, some I don't even know what's on the running track at the moment. It's Mikola into the middle. No one's there, but the ball's still alive for Lucas Inglese, who, with a half-try-ish volley. And Bullich, Franco back towards Lejeune, who hooks it long. Summer skill. Burns. Can't chest it into the manner in which he would have liked at the very least. Halfpenny. Christian Inglese. And Jack Pope. His header goes astray from the angle in which he first intended. Quick feet from Lucas Burns. A player revitalised in this new system. The square ball. And South looking to pick up the scraps. It was between the legs of Brian Summerskill, but Franco eventually will play it towards Mac Hilson. And Barcia striding into space. He's been dispossessed as well. Martinovic. Fowler had time to shoot. Martinovic once more around the edge of the D. It's Monek and Franco. No foul awarded. It's still alive for St. Albans. And a great save from Willem Lejeune. A great double save at that. Cabrera looked to tip it over the top. Burns looked to finish at the near post. Couldn't do so. And there you have it. Delivered to the mixer, and Fowler will retrieve. Here is Summerskill. It's rolled square. Might it open up for Joey Monek, and a very tame shot at that. Didn't quite get the angle he would have liked. It's been an unrelentless pursuit from St. Albans to secure a second, and they've been close numerous times in this second half. Esteban Quintas is incensed wanting the handball, and he gets it eventually. Barcia. Halfpenny. I mean, how blessed are South Melbourne to have their Argentinian contingent in full flight this season, of course, with Esteban Quintas, Mario Barcia, and Nahuel Bernarda. Of course, Bernarda and Barcia both making the move across to Australia at very different stages in their careers. Although around the same time, you'd have to say. Barcia previously had experience in the Oceania region with Team Wellington and actually played against Al Ain in the 2019 FIFA Club World Cup and actually scored. So there you have it for one Mario Barcia. Experienced the highest level of continental club football as it's battered away by Christian Inglese. It looks like we'll see a double change from St. Albans. It looks like. Not sure if it will be happening now. Lee Broxham has taken his time to return to club football since he retired and receives a round of applause as he makes his way off the park for his final St. Albans appearance of the season. Hopefully he can stay for another campaign in the NPL Victoria, who knows. And bringing the players that have come on in just a few moments. No board went up, though, which is interesting to observe, but it is Christopher Dibb and Alan Jerez.
Double substitution for St. Albans coming off number 17, Luca Cabrera, and number 6, Lee Broxham.
And Luca Cabrera.
Number 7, Alan Jerez, and number 3, Christopher Dibb.
Jerez, of course, has experience in the NPL Victoria with Green Gully in the most recent season. Played for Argentinian side Lanús in their under-20 system, formerly of the Eastern Lions as well as Geelong Soccer Club. So played about in just every tier of Victorian football at the semi-professional level. Lucas Inglese, Barcia, a good touch from Emil Peos. Might look to open up the angles and this passing lane cut off eventually. Hume City have scored against the Oakley Cannons to make it 3-1. As a nervous wait will follow for Hume City fans. They'll hope that Dandenong City can secure an equalizer against Heidelberg United, which would put them into 4th place. The throw in from Mikola, rising high, was Inglese, and so too Halfpenny. And Marko Bulic will bomb it up the field. Him, of course, also former Melbourne Victory goalkeeper, was a 3rd choice at one point, and moved across to New South Wales to play with the Sutherland Sharks. A very unorthodox move to make as a Victorian, that's to be sure. The flicked-on header from Hilson. And here is Hilson. He's got space ahead of him. Mac Hilson! Undoubtedly South's biggest chance of the second half, and it was Mac Hilson. He's really come out of nowhere this season to be a constant fixture on the bench in this latter half of the season. Here is Jerez. Max King. Jerez once more seeking the option of Monek. Nice little 1-2 combo. The cross from the byline towards the back post. Still alive for Lucas Burns, who crosses it away himself as well, and danger yet cleared by Josh Franku. King. Martinovic. One back by Hilson. It beats past one. And will stride forward. Mikola for support laterally. And St Albans retain their structural integrity from a defensive perspective, and should be very happy with that outcome. Well, quite a bit of conjecture here, and looks like our referee Trycheski is not too happy. And the free kick to arrive towards the D region. It arrived initially, and Halfpenny will follow suit with the delivery. Mikola with the attempted volley. Is still alive for Pios. And the corner took a long time for it to be awarded by Trycheski, but it eventually is. And so now South will look to fashion one in from that far side. To the near post. Mikala will pick up the scraps. Oh, that's a strong challenge. And that will be a yellow card for sure. And there you have it. Martinovic exerting too much force. And South, as the game continues to subside, the momentum switching slowly into their favour. Mikala will stand over this one. And Pios is a short option if they do require him. It's towards Inglese of the Lucas variety. And he can't header it past goal either. Avondale have a third against Port Melbourne. Pretty comprehensive from them, you'd have to say. After a tantalising clash last week. I mean, that was a very entertaining 1-1 draw. And it was Trycheski with the goal just now. Of course, 2 in 2 weeks for him. Pope opening up the angle. It's Pios. It's Hilson! Your debut goal is always special. But at plate day, it is even more sweeter for him. What a story. The former Bendigo City and Hume youngster scoring his first for an Australian football giant. A crowning achievement for him and a crowning achievement for the football club as well. What a year it's been for South Melbourne, and what a way to do it.
Goal scorer for South Melbourne, number 10, Jack Pope. Score is South Melbourne 2, Dinamo 1.
It's been given as Jack Pope's goal, but by the announcer. But we will definitely double check that to make sure.
Goal scorer.
There you go.
Matt Hilson.
It was Mac Hilson. So. Here is Hilson. He's putting on a show. I mean, playing with so much confidence. And why wouldn't he be? When you've just scored your debut goal for your football club. Flicked across. Gilgich. Summer skill. I mean, you have to say South Melbourne, I mean, they're such a well-drilled and regimented side that they don't give away too many distinct, clear-cut opportunities. And even when they do play the kids, they can win games because, I mean, the tactical system enforced has never changed this season, never really wavered in the intention at the very least. So regardless of the system employed, they will always find a way. And they did so today. But for St Albans, I mean, they've shown an incredible fight and resilience against the champions. The Premiers, should we say. I'm sure they've certainly got ambitions of at least trying to secure an equalizer and continuing that unbeaten form into the end of the season. Summerskill, Barcia, an excellent sliding effort, and Hilson will find Pios. Robert Harding. And hasn't Emil Pios been the conductor in midfield? The Melbourne City youngster, of course, went across to Sint-Trudenese in Belgium. Came back and obviously did play NPL2 football with Melbourne City and then briefly signed for Victory. Things didn't quite work out there, and South Melbourne largely as a rotational player to start with on the balance of the squad. I mean, Barcia and Archibald, you'd say would be the preferred midfield pairing. Summerskill, Girgic. Like the gap start to open. Pope, Barcia. Here is Lucas Inglese.
And the score update somewhere around the ground currently. Altona Magic 5, Manningham 2. Dandenong Thunder 3, Melbourne City 2. Green Gully 0, Melbourne Arms 3. Heidelberg 1, Dandy City 0. Oakley 3, Hugh 1, and Port Melbourne 0, Avondale 3.
Well, you heard it right there. Those are the score updates, courtesy of George Koo. And Fowler, that is exquisite work from the Englishman. And plays a lateral ball towards Martinovic, and Mikola was there in the way. Summerskill back towards Fowler. Oh, how did you open up the angle there to get a shot off? That is truly magnificent work. And I think we will see another change from South Melbourne. And it might also be a potential debut. St Albans with the delivery towards the central channel. Summerskill with great work to open up the angle for the cross. Another corner won by the away side. Girgic was free for a brief period, but Inglese was able to outmuscle the veteran of St Albans Dynamo. He's been at the club since 2016. Quite long in NPL terms, and Burns is brought to ground. Judged to be a legal tackle at the very least. A back heel from Summerskill. Able to retrieve, but was unsuccessful, and we might see another change from St Albans as well. I think taking position on the bench will be Max King.
There is a substitution for South Melbourne and making his
senior debut, Lucas Smugdoglu,
replacing
the 20-year-old, an enormous occasion for him formerly of Pascoe Vale, Melbourne City's Youth Academy, and joined South Melbourne in 2022. And he'll take position in the midfield, it looks like. And that's what South Melbourne have done this season, and so too St Albans have brought in new players aplenty from the youth system. And speaking of St Albans change, Oliver Dragcijevic, of course, he's at the club, been at the club since under 13s as well. He's documented on the various channels, and I mean, he's come in and provided much intensity as a number 10. I mean, it's not easy to take the number 10 shirt. Very tall task to do so, and we'll see what he can provide this afternoon. Smaragdju looking to get a first touch to it. It's Summer Skill. Poked over the top. It's Burns looking to drive into space. Fowler keeps it alive and wins the corner. We approach the 77th minute. Standings all but set in stone, barring late drama at the Olympic Village. It's retrieved by Burns and Emil Payos going tit for tat. Martinovic. Fowler. Can he get a touch to it? He can. Will be sent out for a throw-in. And St Albans looking to try the South Melbourne trick of a long throw. They might look to try their luck again from the throw-in. I mean, if you cast your eyes around the grounds, I mean, there are some absolute goalmouth scrambles everywhere. I mean, Heidelberg have scored a second against Dandenong City, which all but shores up their spot. Burns with the shot into the arm of Cooper Halfpenny, but Tchaikovsky doesn't see anything wrong with that. Here is Dragcijevic. Summer Skill. He's got options to his left. The 1-2 was beautiful, and Burns will drive into the area. Jerez! And Fowler can't poke it home. Sean Ellis scoring for Heidelberg, we believe at the very least. And Willem Lejeune looks to be okay. It seems South do have Javi Diaz on the bench if they do require him, or requires his services. And good to see that all is okay. Moreland City with an incredible come-from-behind win, potentially in the offing against Dandenong Thunder. They've managed to score 3 goals in the second half to make it 4-3. Smaragdju, ball hooked in towards Pios. Whoa, that could have been incredible if he was able to juggle it onto his left foot and pierce the ball into the top left or right corners. Gugic. Jerez. Here do St. Albans ride the challenge. And Franco. It's Barcia. Franco chiefly gives it away and might open up a potential angle for St. Albans as Pios gives away the foul. And Dinamo playing with the spring in their step now. And I think a yellow card for Backchat maybe. I'm not sure for Josh Fowler. Not quite sure who was given a yellow. Play is situated for the delivery. It arrives now. And calls for a handball, waved away. It's all happening in the St. Albans penalty area. And Fowler will look to try from that angle and cannot succeed. And St. Albans and Cam Watson think that they've been quite hard done by in this second half. Joe has vacated the space on that left-hand channel, and Burns can't keep it in. South do have one more player on the bench, Michael Arvanis. Michael Arvanis, of course, should I say. Will his services be required? I mean, that is the question. And Gilgic. Play it back. And Dib, well, that is outrageous. How about that reaction time to, despite you slipping, you can still get ahead to it. I mean, that is knowing your body to the fullest extent. Jalez. Short ball to Summerskill. It's Fowler. Dragocevic. And Burns. He's got options to his left as well. In the form of Jacob Sorveren, who did come on before. And oh! Nearly a potential penalty shout. For St. Albans doesn't quite go their way. Altona Magic taking Manningham to the cleaners, 6-2. I mean, that is a resounding scoreline if I've seen any. Seven minutes to go in South Melbourne's regular season. Franco. Mikola. Looking down the line. It might open up for Emil Payos, who's bearing down on goal, and a great save from Bulic. Dinamo caught napping. But they might look to wake up now. The outside of the foot pass from Lucas Burns, Jelez, and given away, and Bulic will retrieve inside his penalty box. So South Melbourne, in all likelihood, will keep their eyes on the elimination finals to see who they will play. But for the time being, Fowler slips whilst in transition. Sovereign right into the back of the debutant. And Pios. Hilson is all alone. Back to goal. Asking for options and doesn't have any. Pope. We will see the final change of the afternoon for South Melbourne. And it will be a senior debut for young Marco Aravanis. The 18-year-old, an Eastern Lions youth player up until 2022, has featured in the under-23s this season. And what a moment for him. Just 18 years of age, making his South debut. And will be playing in that left wing position, I think. Might look to get a first touch at it now. Mikola striding forward. He's dispossessed eventually. And Bullich, it could be in a heap here. And Hilson will fire, but the foul has been awarded. I think a tug of the shirt. A bit of a sweeper keeper action from Marco Bullish. I mean, Mac Hilson, I mean, what a story. From Bendigo to Lakeside, I mean, you take risks in your footballing career and you succeed sometimes, and he certainly has done so. Spent 16 months on a 2-year football scholarship. Played tournament football in Morocco at one point. Fowler. Mikola. Send it long up the park, but out of play. It's hooked towards Inglese. He can't get all his head under that. It's now Burns. Looking to open up the angle. Sovereign. Low driven cross. It's Jealous. I think Lejeune might have got a touch to it. In fact, he didn't. So St. Albans nearly securing a late equalizer. As the sun sets on Lakeside Stadium and also South Melbourne's season. It's been a historic one at that, a Doherty Cup win, an Australia Cup win in the round of 32 against formidable A-League opposition in the form of the Wellington Phoenix. Still finals to come, an Australia Cup campaign to continue against Olympic next week. The sun is shining on this South group of players who have been tried and tested throughout the campaign. Avondale nipping in behind at points on the table. We won't know how much stoppage time will be added because we don't have a fourth official board.
The referee has indicated that there will be 4 minutes of additional time.
Well, 4 minutes. That's what we've been told here. 4 minutes for St Albans to secure an equaliser. The question is, can they deliver? They've certainly been the better of the two sides today on the balance of play. And they will seek to drive again. And South pick off possession. Mikula, Hilson. Harovanis, his pocket picked. Bullich. Driving central. It's now or never for Dinamo. It's a bomb it long. Lucas Inglese. Exquisite header and well timed at that. Pope. Twirling at the base of midfield with the cheeky flicked up ball. Josh Franco's been great as well. I mean, only 5 outfield players have played the full 90 for South Melbourne. Jalez. St Albans ball still. Will their undefeated streak come to an end? Jalez. Flicked over the top. And Inglese with a poorly timed clearance, and this might be the final roll of the dice. It's into the mixer. It will fall kindly! And it's sent over the bar. Well, it wasn't to be for St Albans. As the full-time scores are coming through, we can bring you a couple of them. Melbourne Knights will have defeated Green Gully 3-0 in Ivan Frangic's final game as a footballer. Dandenong Thunder lost 3-5 to Moreland City. I mean, what a cracking game that was. Altona Magic 6-2 against Manningham United in their final game. In the top flight is Lucas Inglese upends the other Lucas in the form of Lucas Burns, but deemed to be a legal tackle. Mac Hilson driving. Mikula to his left. Haravanis to his right. It's Max Mikula. And another chance goes begging for South Melbourne. An abundance of volleys, and South give away the free kick. Avondale with a fourth goal as well against Port Melbourne. This is surely the final chance for St Albans. It's Fowler on the edge of the area towards the byline. They'll win a corner. And might they bring up Marko Bulic? And he's been asked to go towards the middle. It's Burns. It's a great delivery. And Mikula gets it clear. And the final whistle blows. South Melbourne FC, NPL Victoria Premiers for the second time in 3 years. This is a special group of players. This is a special coach.
A friendly reminder that in 1 week's time...
And, well, they've proven this afternoon The kids are most definitely all right. For St Albans, how they've managed to survive relegation remains to be seen. A Herculean effort from Cam Watson and his coaching staff.
So a big month for our boys ahead, and we expect you to be behind us. Thank you all.
But finals await for South Melbourne, as they will play the winner of either the two elimination finals, which are now confirmed. It will be Oakley Cannons up against Dandenong City, and Heidelberg United versus Hume City. There will be a presentation for the Premier's Plate, which we will be seeing in a few moments. Some of the senior players that didn't feature, or some of the players that did feature but only played a half, will gather around for the presentation of the Premier's Plate. And, well, finals set. I mean, isn't that a mouth-watering clash? Heidelberg up against Hume City, 4th versus 5th, and Oakley against Dandenong City. That game also has plenty of spice to it as well, with the Cannons losing at home to Dandenong City earlier this season. And South Melbourne are clapping their supporters. I mean, they've been behind them this season. Such a congested fixture list, 30-plus games on the season and more to come. And St Albans players going to their travelling fans who've had to travel far for this one. And I think we'll have the presentation in a few moments. It looks like it might be a miniature one, but stay tuned. I've been Neil Simons for Football Victoria. It's been a pleasure to have your company across the NPL Victoria season. Finals football to come. It's a special thing. Plenty of action to come in the coming weeks. South Melbourne face off against Olympic at Lakeside Stadium. Get your tickets for that one. It should be a tantalising clash indeed. And also Hume City face off against Melbourne Serbia, and Oakley up against Heidelberg United. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. Thank you so much. No worries. All good, man. Have a good ride home.